Working our fourth caution period here at Michigan. While you were away, a couple of cars going around, beginning with the guy we were just talking about, Cale Gale.
Some of you guys reporting that there may have been some oil down on the racetrack. We see Jeff Burton spin also behind him.
We'll go on board with Jeff Burton. There also was a report that the 77 of Bernie Lamar may have been smoking prior to this.
Yeah, that looks like they got into something the way his car was wiggling there.
Back there somewhere.
This is on board with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Over at 2, cars on the bottom, cars on the bottom. I have some oil over there, be careful, I have some oil. Caution is out, outside from behind.
And there's the one car of Cale Gale, was running in the top 5 and now is scored back in the 40th position. Kurt Busch, Casey Mears, Reed Sorensen, Mark Martin, Carl Edwards, the top 5. And with Kurt out front, be interesting to watch these guys chasing from behind, see if they can hang with him. Mark Martin's had a strong car early in this race. Mine probably has not shown everything he's got, and Edwards right behind him in the 5th spot. 36 left. Sorry. Yep. Pit road is open and gonna get some business down there. Casey Mears leading a parade down pit road. Dave?
The 41 car of Reed Sorensen is in now. The car is still loose. They're going to make a chassis adjustment, put on 4 fresh tires, and fill it full of fuel for Reed. Matt.
He and his teammate Casey Mears on a little bit different pit sequence now. Casey pitted under the first caution after contact with Greg Biffle to fix some of the cosmetic damage and also work on the chassis. They made some significant chassis adjustments this last time as well, just trying to find the proper balance on that 42 machine.
Be careful about that speeding thing down there.
Mears, Sorensen. There's Jeff Burton's car. They check the toe after the spin.
Yeah, Bill, trying to realign the front end now. Check the front end alignment. Jeff Burton talking about getting into the wall and spinning around. He had a ton of sod up under the front valance of that car, that lower lip of the front fender. As a matter of fact, there's still some hanging down from there right now. They're trying to get this car back in shape to contend again.
Another guy that was running up front started outside the front row. 4th caution period of the day on board with Kevin Harvick through the smoke at Michigan.
Without a Trace Wednesdays, now one of the biggest shows on television.
He's been gone for nearly 2 hours.
Has a night all its own.
Here we go.
4 back-to-back episodes Without a Trace Wednesdays, starting at 7, only on TNT.
Still under caution here at Michigan. You can see him blowing the speedy dry off the racing surface. 3 of the top 10 cars pitted. Casey Mears, Reed Sorensen, and the 9 of Scott Riggs. Mears came out 18th, Sorensen 19th, and Riggs back in the 21st spot. So some fast cars and a variety of pit strategies have shuffled the running order down to pit road. Here's Alan.
Well, there we go. Let's talk about the Busch Series Championship leader, Kevin Harvick, who was screaming on his radio when that caution came out about the oil all the way around the racetrack. He was not a happy camper that it wasn't spotted sooner than it was, but they got away. No harm, no foul. No pit stop either for Harvick. They made an adjustment on the last pit stop, running 6th now. Still need some help with the handling of that car to contend for the win. Marty?
Alan, Carl Edwards finished 3rd in his only Busch Series race here at Michigan. Right now, Carl Edwards runs in the 3rd position. He said the car is very good in traffic, a little free, a little lacking some rear grip when he goes to the gas, so they made a wedge adjustment on the last stop. He was curious about Denny Hamlin's line around the racetrack, which was high fairly early in the run. Carl says, you know, this car is going to be good. We just need some green flag laps to show it. Matt?
Marty, a scare a few moments ago for Mark Martin in the 6th car. Now, while we were away, still under green, Mark came back on the radio, lap 34, and says he had a tire going down. And then after further review, he said it was either oil or he made a mistake just driving it in too hard, or indeed it was a tire. Now, he had his teammate Carl Edwards pull up alongside and look at both sides of the tires. the left and the right said the tires were fine. Mark said it must have been the oil, but they too are concerned about possible weather in the area. They are watching it on their computers on top of the pit box. Dave?
Matt, we saw Reed Sorensen come to pit road. He gave up the lead. He will start 19th. That gives the lead to Kurt Busch, who has reported to crew chief Matt Gimbel that the changes they made the last time, track bar adjustment, hurt the exit of the corner, but it was better in the middle. They're talking about a slight air pressure adjustment to fix the exit the next time.
Thanks, guys. We'll watch those stories develop. They continue to work on cleaning off the racing surface here at Michigan. You're watching the NASCAR Busch Series Carfax 250 on TNT. Field just about to get the 1-to-go signal here at Michigan. We'll go back to green flag racing this afternoon. Tomorrow on TNT, our coverage of the PGA Championship continues at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Final round of the PGA Championship from Medina. And a lot of the guys in NASCAR enjoy playing a little golf, and some of those golfers enjoy a little bit of racing, like the caddy for Tiger Woods, Steve Williams. They went racing over in New Zealand.
Tiger really surprised me. We're driving dirt track stock cars, and I would have thought it was going to take him quite a few laps to get up to speed, but lo and behold, we'd only done about 10 laps, and he was sort of on the pace already, and I think he shocked a lot of people that were there that day. I'm a huge race fan of all sort of racing, but particularly NASCAR, World of Outlaws, and dirt late model racing. Asphalt's for getting to the track and dirt's for racing on, so I sort of stand by that. But I'm a dirt track racer myself, but I love NASCAR.
He is a huge, huge NASCAR fan.
Looks like somebody took out Tiger.
What were those things they were racing?
I don't know. I've been to New Zealand quite a few times, but I've never seen those driving around.
Would you climb aboard one of those?
Yes, I would if I knew where that was at.
Yeah. Well, we'll work on that for you. You can see the sun has come out here in Michigan, turning into a beautiful afternoon after a rainy morning and some rain earlier this afternoon that delayed the start of this race just a little bit. But we've got 42 laps complete, and Kurt Busch is the race leader. Again, the guys that pitted came out about 18th. That's where Mears and Sorensen are. Daniel Quinn is 20th. But Kurt Busch has had a strong race car. Now we're going to find out if Mark Martin maybe has something for Kurt. Mark second in that 6 car, then Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has worked his way to 5th. Then it's Harvick, Robbie Gordon, Tony Stewart, Denny Hamlin, and Clint Bowyer, the top 10. Green flag's out.
Kurt Busch again gets a good restart. He's been pretty good on these restarts this year.
Did a real strong job on the road course.
Watkins Glen, yeah, last weekend.
You are flying here at Michigan. One of the fastest tracks on the NASCAR circuit.
Dale Jr. trying to get under Kenseth. They both slide up the racetrack a little bit. How's Dale Jr.'s car? He looks pretty good right now, Marty.
He calls it a sporty little race car as he passes Matt Kenseth for position. But Wally, he promises he would be on the top of the racetrack. He's running the bottom of the racetrack. He said the car just doesn't work as good as he thought it was on the top of the racetrack. Right now he's kind of in the middle, but it works much better on the bottom of the racetrack. So he said in 1 and 2, it's excellent. 3 and 4, not so good, but 1 and 2 is where he's really fast. Matt?
And Tony Stewart had it pinned down at the bottom. You heard him say in the pre-race, that's where he likes to run here at Michigan, trying to work the inside as Dale Jr. and Denny Hamlin go to the high side. He says the car is way too fast at the beginning of the run, meaning they needed to work on the back half of the run to make the car better. They've worked on that with some track bar adjustments, trying to keep the car freer later.
We got trouble on the straightaway, off of 4. Oh, I was looking at that, Bill. They were almost 4 abreast coming off there, and they just seem to just run out of room. Johnny Sauter, Scott Wimmer. A lot of damage, Johnny's car.
5th caution of the day. Here's what you were talking about, Wally.
Yeah, see, these guys were just racing really hard off 4, and they just looked like they all ran out of room right here.
Jeff Burton and Augie Vidovich got out of town just in time.
See Ashton Lewis Jr. there in the middle. Looked like the 14 car really came up on the 25 car that really started the 25 car wiggling.
On board with Jeff Burton, watching it all unfold.
This would be a great shot. The 14 will slide up, get into the 25, and they just run out of room.
4 wide now, 4
That's
wide. You're right beside you. Keep digging. Caution is out.
Easiest 3 cars Jeff Burton will pass all day right there.
It's a
When
wide
they wreck in front of you.
It's a wide racetrack, but not wide enough right there.
Yep.
Ashton Lewis Jr. John Wood in the 47 car is the lucky dog. He will come around and pick up a lap. So Ashton Lewis limps back to pit road. And the pace car back out.
Wow. Did we say this
Field
race
and
normally ran green a long time?
Yes. I believe you said that.
I said that
Yes,
down.
you did.
We didn't say that?
I think you said it.
What a dope.
But normally it does.
Yeah,
it really does.
I mean, there's been, I think I was even a race here once in a cup car. We never had it.
Dale Jarrett won.
Yeah.
Yep, Dale Jarrett won. Boy, he had a dominating car that day.
Those guys, these cars used to really be strong here. And, you know, they had the cars they could run on the bottom. And it just seemed like they had so much torque in those engines. They could run on the bottom and pass guys getting off the corner, which was just, you don't see very often.
Oh, the caution is out at Michigan. 46 laps complete in the Carfax 250.